Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video like up. The sun-drenched Forrester estate shimmered with golden warmth as Steffy Forrester prepared her youngest son Hayes for his after-school snack. Lately, Steffy had been more watchful than ever. Not because Hayes had misbehaved, on the contrary, he was sweet, sensitive, and sharp for a child his age. But something about his recent behavior had her instincts on high alert. Hayes had become unusually quiet. During car rides home, he would stare out the window as though lost in thought, then come home and go straight to his room with his backpack. That wasn't like him. "Mommy, I brought you something," Hayes said, opening his little school bag and pulling out a folded sheet of paper. "Oh, what is it, honey?" Steffy asked, taking the paper with a soft smile. She expected a drawing, or perhaps a note from the teacher. But as she unfolded it, her smile faded. The paper had only 5 words on it, written in a child's uneven handwriting. Steffy's breath caught. "What is this? Who gave this to you, Hayes?" Hayes looked at her with innocent eyes. "I don't know. It was in my cubby. I thought it was a note from someone who needed help." Steffy knelt, gripping the note tighter. "Did you tell your teacher?" He shook his head. "No, I wanted to show you first." 15 minutes later, Taylor, Hayes' renowned psychiatrist and fiercely protective grandmother, sat beside Steffy at the kitchen counter, staring at the note. "This isn't a prank, Steffy," Taylor said firmly, brushing her hand across the words. "I've seen these kinds of messages before in trauma therapy sessions, but how could it end up in Hayes' cubby?" Steffy asked. "This doesn't make sense. It might not be addressed to Hayes at all," Taylor theorized. "Maybe someone is using the kids to send messages. Maybe someone believes they're trapped or forgotten." Steffy looked stunned. "You think it's, what? A kidnapping? A cry for help?" Taylor nodded slowly. "Possibly. Or it could be someone trying to make contact with someone at Forrester through Hayes." Steffy's heart pounded. "You think this is about us? Our family?" Taylor looked her daughter in the eye. "Honey, we're Forresters. Our name comes with history, drama, and enemies. You know that better than anyone." That evening, as Steffy tucked Hayes into bed, she couldn't stop thinking about the note. When he finally drifted to sleep, she slipped back into the kitchen and pulled out the note again. She scanned the handwriting. Even though she knew it was likely not the original author's, probably copied by a child or teacher's aide, but there was something about it. Then it hit her: a name, a memory. Her twin sister, gone far too soon. She remembered something Taylor once said after Phoebe's death, something about unresolved energy. Grief showing up in strange ways. For a moment, Steffy allowed herself to believe the impossible. But then her phone rang. A blocked number. She answered with a shaky voice. "Hello," a robotic-sounding voice replied. "Stop looking. He's safer where he is." Then it disconnected. The next day, Taylor and Steffy visited Hayes' school. At first, the teachers and administrators seemed confused. But when Steffy pressed further, the school counselor admitted something strange had happened 2 days ago. A man came to the classroom door, asking to observe the class. She said. He claimed to be an education researcher. He was polite, had paperwork, looked legitimate. "And did he talk to Hayes?" Taylor asked, her tone sharp. The counselor hesitated. "Briefly, he asked him about art supplies. I didn't think much of it until now." "What was his name?" Steffy asked urgently. "I think it was Marcus. Dr. Marcus Gideon." Taylor froze. "That name is familiar. I've seen it in an old psychiatric journal. He was expelled for manipulating patients into false memories during therapy." Steffy whispered. "Why would someone like that be around our son?" Taylor's voice dropped cold. "Because he's working for someone who wants to get to us." Back at the Cliff House, Steffy and Finn were having a tense conversation. Finn had returned from the hospital late and had only just heard about the note. "Wait, someone left that in Hayes' bag and called you. And the school let a stranger in," he exploded. "I know, Finn, I'm scared too. But we have to think clearly," Steffy said. "We need to know if Hayes is in danger, or if this is about someone else." That night, Finn took the note to his hospital's forensic linguistics department. He wanted the truth. The next morning, the results came back. The handwriting had been copied, but there were faint indentations beneath the ink. Under ultraviolet light, another message appeared. Steffy gasped. "That's Granddad's old art retreat in Big Bear. Who would be up there?" Taylor asked. Finn spoke calmly. "Only one way to find out. With security, flashlights, and hearts pounding, Steffy, Finn, and Taylor made their way through the woods to the old Forrester cabin. It had been unused for years. The red door stood slightly ajar. Inside it was dark until a faint voice called out, "Hello, is someone there?" They found a small bedroom at the back. Inside sat a disheveled woman in her 40s, thin, tired, but alert. "I am Dr. Miranda Blake," she whispered. "They took me because I knew the truth about a baby that was switched years ago." Steffy's blood ran cold. "A baby? Which baby?" Blake looked directly at her. "Yours. And Liam's. You're lying," Steffy said, her voice trembling. "Kelly is my daughter." "That's settled. That's proven." Dr. Blake held up a thin file with medical records. "I was forced to falsify records. Hayes Preschool is a front for a network tied to Gideon. He's been watching key children of powerful families." Finn grabbed the file and began to read. As a doctor, his eyes moved fast until they stopped. He stared at Steffy. This says your embryo was stolen. The baby we lost." He swallowed hard. "Might not have been lost at all." "Taylor whispered, "You're saying someone took Steffy's unborn child?" "Years ago." Blake nodded, and raised him or her elsewhere. "But recently, the truth started leaking, so they're trying to tie off loose ends, like me." Back in Los Angeles, Steffy paced the living room, her world crashing around her. Everything she knew about her children, her loss, her history was in question. Taylor sat beside her. "If this is true, Steffy, we're not just dealing with trauma, we're dealing with criminal conspiracy. We'll go to Ridge. To the police." But Steffy had already made up her mind. "No, I'm going to find out who took my child. And if there's even the slightest chance I have another son or daughter out there." She stood tall, fierce and unshaken. "Then I will find them, and bring them home." That night, while Steffy was tucking Hayes in, he handed her a drawing. "This is our family," he said, smiling. "That's you, Daddy, Kelly, me," and he pointed to a small figure in the corner. "Who's that?" Steffy asked gently. Hayes shrugged. "I don't know, but they feel like they're supposed to be with us." Tears welled in Steffy's eyes. She kissed his forehead and whispered, "Maybe they are, sweetheart. Maybe they are." Ridge uncovers a secret from Taylor's past that links her to Dr. Gideon. Finn goes rogue to uncover the truth behind Steffy's lost child. Brooke warns Steffy not to dig too deep, or risk losing everything.